Welcome back to another video of Harry Potter University.
Once there was a young man. He seemed to all the world a student like any other.
Tom, you have a visitor.
How do you do, Tom? His name?
He killed my parents, didn't he?
Forgive me.
Tom Riddle.
Where we'll be diving deep into the life of the Dark Lord Voldemort. Early years 1926 to 1937. The Dark Wizard known as Lord Voldemort was born on the 31st of December 1926. His mother, a witch and, according to Voldemort, a descendant of Salazar Slytherin, had fallen in love with Tom Riddle, a Muggle. Tom Riddle lived in a fine-looking manor that stood on a hill overlooking the village of Little Hangleton. The manor house was one of the largest and grandest buildings for miles around. When Voldemort's mother told her husband that she was a witch, he abandoned her, returning to his parents' home. As Lord Voldemort told the story, his father didn't like magic. Voldemort's mother died just after giving birth to him, living just long enough to name him Tom Marvolo Riddle, after his father, and Marvolo after his grandfather. He was raised in a Muggle orphanage. For the first 11 years of his life, Tom was raised in a clean but grim Muggle orphanage in London. As he got older, he began to steal things and appeared to cause nasty things to happen to the other children and to pets around the orphanage. Voldemort's time at Hogwarts, 1938 to 1945. At Hogwarts, Tom Riddle, sorted into Slytherin House, quickly gained a reputation as an exceptionally gifted student. During holidays, Tom begrudgingly returned to the Muggle orphanage he loathed. Tom harbored a secret obsession with his Slytherin lineage and the pursuit of immortality. In his 6th year, he discovered and opened the Chamber of Secrets, unleashing the basilisk and causing the death of Myrtle Warren. The chamber, created by Salazar Slytherin and hidden from the other founders, was intended to rid the school of those deemed unworthy of magic. During this period, Tom rejected his father's common Muggle name, and he created the anagram, "I am Lord Voldemort," from his full name. He aspired to make this name feared as the greatest sorcerer in the world. On June 13, 1943, Tom falsely implicated Rubus Hagrid and his giant spider Aragog in the chamber's attacks. He was awarded a trophy for special services to the school, but realized that Dumbledore's vigilant watch prevented any further opening of the chamber. Tom, seeking to preserve his legacy and continue Slytherin's mission, embedded part of himself in a diary, hoping it would guide someone to complete his work in the future. Events at Little Hangleton, 1944 to 1945. Tom Riddle uncovered the truth about his birth after visiting his uncle, Morfin Gaunt, the summer following Myrtle's death. Seeking vengeance for his father's abandonment and Muggle heritage, he murdered his father and grandparents at the Riddle Mansion in Little Hangleton. Frank Bryce, the Riddle's gardener, reported seeing a dark-haired, pale teenage boy near the manor on the day of the murders. The next day, the bodies of Tom Riddle Sr. and his parents were found, showing terror but no physical harm, and were later buried in the Little Hangleton churchyard. In his final year at Hogwarts, Tom excelled as prefect, head boy, and earned a medal for magical merit. Albus Dumbledore would later acknowledge him as possibly the most brilliant student Hogwarts ever had. However, Tom was secretly delving into the dark art of creating Horcruxes, concluding that 7 would be more powerful than 1. He created his first 2 Horcruxes using the deaths of Myrtle and his father, all before turning 18. Transformation, 1945 to 1970. After graduating from Hogwarts in 1945, Tom Riddle unexpectedly took a job at Borgin & Burke's, a dark magic shop in Knockturn Alley. His role involved acquiring valuable items for minimal cost, a task at which he excelled. However, he suddenly left the job and vanished after murdering Hepzibah Smith to steal Slytherin's locket and Hufflepuff's cup. Riddle then disappeared for over a decade, during which he delved deeply into the dark arts, associating with notorious witches and wizards, and undergoing numerous perilous magical transformations in his pursuit of power and immortality. When he re-emerged, he had transformed into the feared dark wizard known as Lord Voldemort. Have you already sided with the Dark Lord? Be sure to like the video and subscribe to Harry Potter University before you find yourself on the wrong side of the wizarding world. First rise of the Dark Lord 1970 to 1981. By the early 1970s, Voldemort had amassed a group of brutal followers known as Death Eaters. His name became so feared that few dared to utter it, and many were unaware that he was once the charming and talented student at Hogwarts. Many joined Voldemort for power, but as his reign of terror grew, fear became a significant motivator. His rise to power was marked by disappearances and escalating violence. Voldemort's first reign lasted 11 years, characterized by attacks on those opposing him or defending Muggles and Muggle-borns, often leaving behind the dark mark at scenes of horror. Entire families were destroyed and many went into hiding. The Ministry of Magic, overwhelmed by the chaos, allowed Aurors to use unforgivable curses and bypass trials. Despite these measures, they struggled to control the situation, leading Albus Dumbledore to form the Order of the Phoenix. Voldemort, now seen as the most powerful wizard, had instilled such fear that he was referred to only as you-know-who, or he who must not be named. Loyalty betrayed, 1981 to 1994. In the late 1970s, at the peak of his power, Voldemort recruited two young Death Eaters, Severus Snape and Regulus Black, who would eventually betray him. Regulus, outraged by Voldemort's mistreatment of Kreacher, died attempting to destroy one of Voldemort's Horcruxes. Snape, meanwhile, turned double agent for Dumbledore after Voldemort targeted Lily Potter. Ironically, it was Snape who had informed Voldemort about the prophecy predicting a child capable of defeating him, and he was appalled when Voldemort concluded that Harry Potter was that child. Voldemort only knew part of the prophecy. The child would be born at the end of July to parents who had thrice defied him. Voldemort's downfall came when he tried to kill baby Harry, only for the curse to rebound due to Lily's sacrificial protection. Though his Horcruxes kept him from true death, he was reduced to a parasitic existence, inhabiting the bodies of animals, particularly snakes, in a remote Albanian forest. He waited, enduring a torturous existence, expecting his Death Eaters to find him and revive him. However, those not killed or imprisoned were either denying their allegiance or claiming they had been coerced. Second defeat, 1991 to 1992. In the summer of 1991, Voldemort took control of Hogwarts professor Quirinus Quirrell, who had ventured to Albania for a first-hand encounter with dark creatures and ended up encountering more than he expected. Back in England, Voldemort, inhabiting Quirrell's body, sustained himself on unicorn blood but sought a more permanent solution. His plan was to steal the Philosopher's Stone, created by Nicholas Flamel, for its life-extending elixir. However, Dumbledore had already secured the stone and hidden it at Hogwarts. Voldemort, still within Quirrell, confronted Harry Potter in front of the Mirror of Erised, where both sought the stone. It was during this confrontation that Voldemort discovered another layer of protection stemming from Lily Potter's sacrifice. He couldn't touch Harry without suffering intense pain. Dumbledore arrived in time to save Harry, and Voldemort, leaving Quirrell to perish, fled. Dumbledore and Flamel subsequently destroyed the Philosopher's Stone, once again foiling Voldemort's plans through Harry Potter. Second Exile, 1992 to 1994. Lord Voldemort returned to his forest in Albania in failure. He was as weak as he had ever been and thought it would be too much to expect another foolish wizard to happen along. and he had given up hope that his faithful Death Eaters cared what had become of him. But while Voldemort waited without hope, the diary in which he had preserved the memory of his 16-year-old self had been in possession of Lucius Malfoy, who took an opportunity in August 1992 to slip the diary into a book purchased for young Ginny Weasley. Ginny opened her heart to the diary and threw it to Tom Riddle, and he became stronger and stronger. He was soon more powerful than Ginny and able to use her, without her knowledge, to open the Chamber of Secrets, release Slytherin's basilisk, and have her act as his agent in Hogwarts. Harry learned about this and tried, together with Ron, to rescue Ginny out of the Chamber of Secrets. Assisted by Fawkes, the Sorting Hat, and the Sword of Godric Gryffindor, Harry killed the basilisk and used the venomous fang of the monster to destroy the diary, together with the memory of Tom Riddle. Voldemort's Return, 1994. By 1994, Voldemort was devising a strategy to fully restore his physical form. He had gained two key allies, Peter Pettigrew and the snake Nagini, destined to become a Horcrux. With Pettigrew's assistance, Voldemort concocted a temporary potion using unicorn blood and Nagini's venom, resulting in a primitive, baby-like form. For complete regeneration, he needed a potion comprising his father's bone, a servant's flesh, and the blood of an enemy. While the blood of any enemy would suffice, Voldemort specifically sought Harry Potter's blood. He believed that by using Harry's blood, he would inherit the protective magic Lily Potter had bestowed on her son, thus overcoming the obstacle that had led to his downfall 13 years earlier. Voldemort and Pettigrew captured and killed Bertha Jorkins. Her death facilitated the creation of Voldemort's final Horcrux, the snake Nagini. Using knowledge gained from Bertha, they freed Barty Crouch Jr. and devised a complex scheme to circumvent Harry Potter's protections, ultimately transporting him to the Little Hangleton graveyard for Voldemort's resurrection ritual. The plan succeeded, and Harry, along with Cedric Diggory, arrived at the graveyard where Cedric was instantly killed. The resurrection potion was effective, not only restoring Voldemort's body but also enabling him to touch Harry without pain. Voldemort then summoned his remaining Death Eaters, demanding their loyalty once more. During a duel with Harry, Voldemort encountered an unexpected challenge. Their wands, sharing cores from Fawkes the Phoenix, were equally matched and incapable of defeating each other. This led, assisted by the spectral forms of his parents, to the escape of Harry, taking Cedric's body with him. After this debacle, Voldemort focused on understanding the prophecy Snape had overheard years earlier, believing it key to defeating Harry Potter. He aimed to acquire the prophecy's official record from the Ministry of Magic. However, stealing the prophecy proved challenging. Multiple attempts failed. He eventually lured Harry to the Department of Mysteries, where Lucius Malfoy and other Death Eaters awaited to seize the prophecy. This plan also failed. The prophecy was destroyed. The situation escalated when Dumbledore arrived, capturing most Death Eaters. Voldemort then attacked Harry directly, leading to a duel with Dumbledore. Afterwards, Voldemort plotted Dumbledore's assassination, tasking Draco Malfoy with the deed. Draco's mother, Narcissa, secured Snape's help through an unbreakable vow. This eventually led to the death of Dumbledore, executed by Severus Snape. Unknown to Voldemort, Dumbledore had already shared his knowledge of the Horcruxes with Harry, and one had been destroyed. The Battle of Hogwarts, 1998. Voldemort faced the challenge of finding a wand capable of defeating Harry Potter, aware that his own yew and phoenix feather wand was ineffective due to their shared core. Voldemort learned about the Elder Wand. Determined to possess this powerful wand, Voldemort embarked on a quest to track it down. His search led him eventually to Albus Dumbledore. Voldemort journeyed to Hogwarts, forcibly opened Dumbledore's tomb, and claimed the Elder Wand from the hands of Dumbledore's corpse. When Harry, Ron and Hermione successfully infiltrated Gringotts and seized the Hufflepuff Cup from the Lestrange vault, Voldemort was struck with the realization that Dumbledore and Harry were aware of his Horcruxes. In a panic, Voldemort launched an assault on the school. Before the attack, Voldemort offered Hogwarts a deal. Surrender Harry and the school would be spared. The school refused, and at midnight, Voldemort's forces, including Death Eaters, werewolves, giants, and acromantulas, began their attack, with Voldemort commanding from the Shrieking Shack. There, Harry witnessed Voldemort murder Snape, mistakenly believing it would strengthen his bond with the Elder Wand. Harry then used Snape's memories in the Pensieve to uncover the truth about Snape's actions and motivations, including the fact that Harry himself was a Horcrux. Understanding that his death was necessary to defeat Voldemort, Harry confronted Voldemort, who seemingly killed him. However, this act only destroyed the Horcrux within Harry, sending him to a liminal space where he conversed with Dumbledore and saw the pitiful state of Voldemort's soul. Choosing to return, Harry played dead, and Narcissa Malfoy, eager to find her son, falsely confirmed his death. The battle at Hogwarts continued, with Molly Weasley killing Bellatrix and Neville Longbottom destroying the last Horcrux, Nagini. Harry then revealed himself and faced Voldemort in a final duel. The Elder Wand, loyal to Harry after he disarmed Draco Malfoy, refused to harm its true master. Voldemort's killing curse rebounded, ending his life. As we conclude this video, we want to thank you for joining us on this dark journey through the life of Lord Voldemort. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.